good, everyone? It's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the performance review of the Puma Hali 1. So without further ado, let's take a look at Tyrese Halliburton's first signature shoe. All right, so these shoes actually surprised me a lot. Initially getting these in hand, I was pretty underwhelmed, but the more I played in them, the more I liked them. And it's got to the point where I really enjoy these on court. So as always, starting with the traction pattern on the Hali 1, you have a full-length translucent herringbone traction pattern from the heel all the way to the toe, and how these perform on court is fantastic. I never slipped out at all, even when I wasn't wiping. It just wasn't quite as tacky or had that loud squeak when you were on clean floors, but these still performed great on clean and dirty floors. Obviously, if you're wiping, these are an elite traction pattern on the Hali 1. I do love how it wraps up on the lateral side and right here at the toe on the medial side. If you are dragging your foot, you'll have extra coverage on this shoe. But overall, the traction was superb on court, indoors. Outdoors, I don't know if I bring these because they would collect obviously a ton of dust, and the rubber compound is kind of a medium firmness. But indoors, these are superb, and I really enjoyed them a lot. So like I said, as far as the traction goes, I'm gonna have to give these a very solid 9 out of 10. Very enjoyable on court. Now, one of the things that surprised me the most on the Hali 1 is the cushioning. Now, I've played in nitro foam in many different pairs from the brand, but this one here just felt different. It kind of felt like Cushlon 3.0 or like React, honestly, and it just was very plush in the heel. There was a ton of compression, which is great. In the forefoot, you still get a little bit of compression, but it's mostly just close to the floor with good court feel up front. But this was a very enjoyable ride. It felt very natural from the heel to the toe. The transition was just seamless, and it's been an enjoyable ride thus far. Time will tell to see how it holds up, you know, over 15, 20, 30 hours. I played in these for around 9 hours this far, and I feel like I have a really good idea on how this shoe performs. But one of the standout features for me, for sure, was the nitro infused foam compound. It was very nice. Obviously, it does kind of cage up on the side a little bit with this rubber outsole, but right here at the back, it just compresses a ton, and it's very nice underfoot. So this is honestly probably one of Puma's best cushioned basketball shoes on the market right now. And that is saying a lot because there has been a ton of different shoes with nitro foam, but for me, this was the most enjoyable. And that's why this is gonna get a very nice 8.5 out of 10 for the cushioning. I just really enjoyed the natural feeling at the back of the shoe all the way to the front. As far as the fit goes with this shoe, I did go with my standard size 10.5. I think they're decently wide foot friendly. Through the midfoot, they are pretty wide. At the toe, they do taper in just a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. I usually go with a 10.5 in all of my Puma basketball shoes, and that's exactly what I did right here. You do get a little bit of room at the end of the shoe, kind of like a pinky's width at the end of the shoe. There was no pinch points on this shoe. Keep in mind the nitro foam does wrap up the side right here to kind of act as a lateral guardrail. That did not pinch my toes at all. So it was very nice on foot. The fit is nice. The padding at the back is pretty subtle, nothing crazy. The tongue is nicely padded. It's also gusseted from the midway point all the way down. So it's just a seamless one-to-one fit, and the toe box is pretty tapered here at the tip of the toe. So no extra volume within this shoe. So for me, as far as the fit goes, I did enjoy these. I've enjoyed playing in this much more than all of the LaMelo Ball shoes in the past. And that is saying a lot because I did enjoy his first two. So for me, as far as the fit goes, these get a pretty decent 8 out of 10. As far as the materials go, keep in mind, this shoe retails for 130 USD and 170 Canadian. You are getting a bunch of mesh material, kind of like this nubuck material right here, a fused toe rand. You get these fuse overlays here on the lateral and medial side with this fuse Puma cat right here. So the materials aren't anything special, but they work very nicely. They break in quickly. At the top of the tongue, you have more of that kind of nubuck material. And then running down the tongue, it's honestly kind of like that Nike Torch system tongue with all the perforated holes. So it offers some nice breathability. The material is lightweight. There's these little kind of slits right here around the fuse. You can actually see right through it on the inside of the shoe. So again, breathability is pretty nice within the shoe. Just don't expect anything premium. It would be cool to see some of these overlays, instead of fuse on every pair, be different materials, whether it be leather, suede, nubuck, patent leather. That would be a nice touch if they did swap that out on different colorways. But overall, the materials are decent in hand and they perform very nice on court. And that's why they're gonna score a 7.5 out of 10. As far as the weight of the shoe in hand, it feels pretty average for my size 10.5. But they come in at 15 ounces and an average weight for my shoe is 14 to 16, 14.3 ounces for the left, 15 ounces for the right, a 0.7 ounce difference. That is pretty crazy. Both of these shoes have the insoles in them. It's pretty wild to me that they weigh almost an ounce different. But nonetheless, the weight is pretty average, all things considered. Now, as far as the support goes within this shoe, this is a pretty supportive basketball shoe. I really enjoyed these on court. As far as all of my movements I made on court, I was locked in and good to go. At the back, you have an internal TPU heel counter, and then you have a secondary one at the back of the shoe right here, a TPU one at that. So it's very rigid at the back of the shoe, which is a great thing to offer containment, support, you name it. This is a lower cut basketball shoe, and a ton of people think that the higher the shoe, the more support. That is not true. You get support through a very good and sturdy heel counter, having your proper size and fit within a hoop shoe. A higher top shoe is a placebo effect. You're not going to get any more support. If it's up to your knees, that's not going to do anything for you. You need support where it matters, and that's at the back of the shoe, and this shoe has that. Moving your way down from that, the materials are lightweight and breathable, but they are pretty strong on those hard cuts. And you also have this nitro foam midsole and this rubber portion wrapping up the side. So when you make those hard lateral cuts, for me at least, my foot was contained on the footbed. Now where you're getting the bulk of support at the bottom is this really large shank plate right here. It runs from about the heel all the way into the forefoot, kind of like a fork. And it is just crazy in hand and on foot. You get a ton of support within this model, which is a great thing. It might be too much support for some people, but for me, the more you loaded the shoe and kind of ran with it or jumped with it, you could really feel it loading and then kind of springing back at you with that TPU shank plate at the bottom of the Hali 1. So the support in this shoe is very nice. It's got a pretty wide and stable base, not quite an outrigger right here, but it is a pretty wide bottom here. So for me, this was a very supportive basketball shoe. Whether you're making step backs, crossovers, you name it, this shoe had me covered. And that's why these are going to score a really solid 9 out of 10 as far as the support goes. Really quickly, as far as the design goes, obviously it's not a performance feature, and this is a performance review, but I still kind of stand by that I'm not a huge fan of the design of the shoe. Maybe different colorways will change my mind, like a black and red or an all red pair, or red and white, maybe even a purple pair. But this blue pair right here, it's just not really doing it for me design wise and kind of colorway wise. The more I played in them, I like them more performance wise, but the design for me just really isn't there. So that's going to do it for today's performance review on the Hali 1 from Puma. This might just be their best basketball shoe on the market today. I like it better than all of the LaMelo Ball shoes. I stopped testing his shoes because honestly, year to year, they're the same shoe, the same mold, the same height. Everything is the same. They're just changing the overlays, and it's gotten pretty old for me. I think they're on like his 5th or 6th shoe now. And honestly, every time I try them on or I played it in his first 3 or 4, it was just the same thing. So this is a breath of fresh air as far as a different design. Even though I'm not a huge fan of it, the performance is there. You are getting a performance-packed basketball shoe from Puma, and it's pretty cool to see the brand offering some new things within this model that translated really nice on court. So like I said, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that would definitely help the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.